15 reasons why I love you. 1, I love you. 2, I love you. 3, I absolutely love you. 4, I love you for refilling my home with every flower filled with love.
This is the very tragic story of 3 beautiful ladies who were shot and killed by someone they trusted. 28-year-old Javontee Brice shot his mother, Titimysha Scott, age 48. He shot his ex-girlfriend Charel Carter, age 31, and later shot and killed his blood cousin Sacouya Jonquila Brice, age 29, which some people think he was having an affair with.
Life is so beautiful. And what makes it so beautiful is when you look me in my eyes and you told me that you love me. And I lied and told you I accept that love.
He killed all this people within a time frame of 2 hours. He was said to have done this for either of 3 reasons. He was exposed to be a down-low man, he was caught sleeping with his blood cousin, and maybe because of his mental state.
Oh, you didn't tell me all that.
I got 5 on it, yeah.
Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories. Bradenton, Florida is a charming coastal city located on the Gulf of Mexico that offers a unique blend of natural beauty, cultural attractions, and recreational activities. Bradenton is said to have a total crime rate that is 3% lower than the national average per 100,000 residents. Javontee Brice, age 28, is the center of this video. He studied at Savannah State University.
He love you too.
What's up? That's not Zoe. Brice like she got to know that.
Zoe.
After school he didn't do much. He was said to be a poet, which most people felt like it was of him battling some demons in him.
My sadness grows as my trust fades away in the midnight dust. My love is enveloped, yearning for hope from the angels who dance freely in waters of the oceans when sunset sets. Morning dew turns into frozen dew due to the bees running out of honeydew. Butterflies becoming angry due to the decreasing of dragonflies. I adorn the ornament of life until life stings like a hornet. Now my madness sings like a hurricane. My heart and brain filled with trauma and pain. Life is heavy and heaven is scary. What goes up must comes down. I am not a shooting star, but many people played my love like a guitar, while others listened while smoking their cigars, wanting to slit and slice their throats and drive them to the Atlantic Ocean on a speedboat and watch them sink until they meet the slaves who built this ruined but still existing world. Soul going through every season of pain, but in a week I can't sleep, even with sleep aid. I'll accept a box of Band-Aids because life is temporary anyway.
Javontee dated different people and he had some children from those relationships.
Since day one to the point I ain't never got to say nothing. That's why I call you my first lady. 10 years on the road, I know.
He was said to have been a sort of violent person because he had been arrested in the past for domestic violence, specifically strangulation. His mother, Titimysha Scott, age 48, was doing the best she could do for his loving son even when she realized he has some issues upstairs. At a point she moved into a hotel so she could be along because Javontee was getting out of hand.
Yeah. I'm the big brother though. You heard me? Yeah, I'm the big brother. Yeah.
On the other hand, Javontee was dating someone by the name of Charel Carter, age 31. She was a very lovely person.
Because of Lambo, known to keep the bad on commando. Got to hear from Rainy, nothing on me from sex.
She had kids she loved a lot. She cared for Javontee, but sometimes, she too could not handle him because of his domestic abuse and other things, so she had to let go. The last important person in this story is Sacouya Brice, age 29, who was the cousin of Javontee. She was also the person why some people claim Javontee did what he did. Now getting into the actual story, Javontee was said to have been doing some weird things because he had been off his medications.
I asked the Lord to remold me, rebuild me, reaccept me. But the Lord told me he had to have a conversation with the devil before approval. So what do you think I look like to society? Society laugh at me. Society joke about me. So when I walk this earth, I'm laughed at. Laughed at from the deaf, from the blind, from the weak and the broken. So when you look at me, just please accept me for who I am. Because if you cannot accept me, what's life? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Just love me.
Javontee started posting some weird stuffs on social media. He started by saying, "I maybe break and broken hundreds of women hearts, but I'll never break y'all hearts. I love you so much." Both y'all first words were dada. Then he posted another one saying, "The only relationship I know I'll never lose is with the Lord." Next he posted this about his cousin. "I love you Sacouya Brice, see you in hell." Referring to his ex-girlfriend, he said this, "Pig, I love you but you had to go." After posting all this, Javontee started what would end up becoming a killing spree. He drove to an apartment where his sister and one of his ex-girlfriends stayed. When he saw her, he looked at the ex-girlfriend and said, "I have to kill you." Somehow the sister was able to talk him down and talk him out of him shooting this ex-girlfriend. After that he drove to a Motel 6 in Bradenton where his mother, his 2 young sisters and the mother's boyfriend were staying. That was the place his mother was staying because they had to give him space due to his mental state. He walked into that hotel room, looked at his mother and said, "I'm sorry." She asked, "What did you do?" And he shot her 3 times in front of the boyfriend and these 2 innocent young juveniles. After that he drove to a house in Palmetto where one of his cousins, Sacouya, was at a cookout. Upon sighting Javontee, she tried to get into her car but he shot her and she was pronounced dead an hour later. Javontee then drove to a home in Bradenton where one of his ex-girlfriend, Charel Carter, lived with her new partner. He shot and killed her right there and then. So he planned on driving to Georgia to kill another ex-girlfriend, but at the time the police had issued a be on the lookout bulletin for Javontee's car. When police pulled Javontee over at about 1:30 a.m. in Hamilton County, Javontee got out of the car and started firing at officers. The officers returned fire, killing him on scene.
Thank you for joining us tonight. 3 women were murdered in a shooting spree in Manatee County.
And the man responsible killed in a shootout with deputies near the Florida-Georgia line. The shootings happened in 3 different locations in Palmetto, Bradenton, and outside city limits in Manatee County.
News Channel 8's Marilyn Parker joining us live tonight in Manatee County with an update on the story. Marilyn.
Well, this is where the shooting spree started, and right before that, there were concerning posts on Facebook from Javontee Brice's account, and investigators say it's going to be an important part of figuring out the motive.
Disturbing social media posts from the man deputies accused of killing his mother, cousin, and another woman Monday night. The sheriff says what 28-year-old Javontee Brice put on Facebook will be important in their investigation. At 8:53, he posted love, and shortly after 9, deputies say he shot and killed his mother, Titimysha Scott, at a Motel 6. At 9:36, Brice posts, "I love you, bae," tagged his cousin, then said, "See you in expletive." 4 minutes later, deputies were called to a shooting in Palmetto where they found Brice's cousin, Sacouya Brice, shot in an SUV. She later died. Kimberly Welcome Williams with the Hope Family Services says these posts are all red flags and should alert people everywhere.
Don't stay quiet. Speak up. Reach out. Help your friends and family.
Had a history of domestic violence.
Javontee Brice died later that day in a shootout with deputies. But could the killing spree have been stopped? Well, tonight we are looking into Brice's background. News Channel 8's Marilyn Parker joining us live from Manatee County with the story. And Marilyn, you've learned a little bit more about this man.
Yes, Javontee Brice had quite a few run-ins with law enforcement, and we're seeing a pattern in those court documents, but the question remains, could something have been done to prevent Monday night's tragic shootings?
The father of 12 did something similar in 2021. According to this protection order, he posted on Facebook, "I love my babies. A lot of people don't know what I've been through or going through, but it's the last straw." Then it says he shot himself. He was Baker acted. Attorney Jennifer Strove points out the protection order expired in 2023.
It's hard to say if that risk protection order would have actually helped in this situation. Unfortunately, there are not a lot of long-term resources for someone for mental health help.
Danielle Wondrak is the program manager at Blue Butterfly Family Grief Center. We spoke with her knowing there are children and families impacted by this tragedy.
It's okay to remember the good times we had with that person, and it's still okay to be mad at them for the bad choice that they made. And over time, we have to use that as an example of, this isn't behavior that we want to use again.
This is where the motive started coming into play. A lot of people said he was sleeping with his cousin, who later discovered him to be gay. It was why he referred to her as Bae in the social media post. They believed it was obvious in some of his social media posts.
Oh, you didn't tell me all that. Ooh.
I got 5 on it, yeah.
He can be seen messing around with some studs and some men. A comment on his page reads, "Who is the stud in the picture with him? He really wasn't into women," and his page clearly shows that. Another post on his page reads, "Sad to say, but this happens a lot. Most of these men that are down low don't want to live in their truth but still want to live double lives. It's crazy, and how can you get mad at someone else because of what you prefer?" Some also said it was because he was off his medication. That was why he kept posting weird poems on social media. This one talked about him mentally sick and also being gay. It reads, "You were mentally sick. I seen a lot of people say it was because they found out you were gay. That's your choice, but the extent you went shows it's more than that. Pure evilness." Police stated this in the briefing. "We don't know what set this man off. We don't know why he chose to kill his loved ones. We may never know, but we're going to continue to investigate."
So we believe initially that this all started sometime before 9 o'clock when Mr. Brice traveled to the Palmetto Trace Apartments in Palmetto, in the city of Palmetto. Inside one of those apartments was his sister and a mother of one of the many children that Mr. Brice has. When he walked into the apartment, he looked at the ex-girlfriend and said, "I have to kill you." Somehow the sister was able to talk him down and talk him out of him shooting this ex-girlfriend. She later told investigators that he was acting very strange, not really sure what was going on with him. At 9:17 p.m., we know that he traveled to the Motel 6 in East Bradenton. Inside one of those rooms was his mother, his mother's boyfriend, and 2 young juvenile sisters. He walked into that hotel room, looked at the mother and said, "I'm sorry." She asked, "What did you do?" And he shoots her 3 times in front of the boyfriend and these 2 innocent young juveniles. He then travels into Palmetto to the 900 block of 26th Street East. One of his cousins was at a cookout at this residence. She's starting to get into her vehicle to leave. He then shoots her at that location. She later dies about an hour after this shooting at a local hospital. We then have him traveling into the city of Bradenton over the Green Bridge. And at roughly 10:04 p.m., he travels to a location in the city of Bradenton, the 4800 block of 51st Street East. This is a residence where another ex-girlfriend lives and her now new partner. So at this point, we now have 3 homicide scenes and also an ag assault scene at Palmetto Trace. Investigators are constantly getting information. We know right away that the suspect is Javontee Brice. The family has been very cooperative. They tell us exactly what's going on. We find out that he possibly has another ex-girlfriend in the state of Georgia and that he's now traveling to that state to kill her. We put out a statewide BOLO. Luckily, sheriff deputies with the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office spots the vehicle that Mr. Brice is driving. They stop him. He immediately gets out of the car and starts firing upon them. They return fire, shooting and killing him there in Hamilton County. And that's where everything ends.
So many opinions, but we might not know for sure what could have triggered him into doing what he did. A GoFundMe was set up. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of all the victims. It is so unfortunate. Some kids end up without their mother due to one person's actions. We wish them the best in life. May the souls of the departed continue to rest in peace. Please stay safe out there. See you guys in the next video.